Just curious what they're posting about. Would you like to see a recap before starting episode 4? No. Open your eyes, it's a new day. Last night seemed so far away, you can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine, but your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hey, have you heard from Stella? I haven't been able to get a hold of her. Thought she might have at least checked in with you. There's nothing from Stella. I'm gonna call Stella. Hey, what's up? Haha, just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now. This is actually recording on my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? What is their bluesky handle? Their bluesky handle is blacktabbygames.com. I'm not kidding. It's at blacktabbygames.com. Fun fact, I have actually met the artist for this game, Abby Howard. She's amazing. She's also got a horror graphic novel. I met her at the time she was like still working on it, and I think she finished it. And then she and I think her husband, but I don't want to speak out of turn there, developed this game. Tony Howard is the writer, but also I think the programmer. And they also made Slay the Princess, which was just like a side trip. Like they did Slay the Princess as a fun like little like experiment, and it turned out to be very popular, and they continued to develop it until it was like a fully fledged game. And now it's like one of their most popular entries. I think it's actually more popular than Scarlet Hollow, but I think they're both kind of on even footing as far as I'm concerned. In fact, I actually would consider Scarlet Hollow to be more interesting in some ways. Slay the Princess is good though. I like it. Anyways, leave a message or don't. I never check this thing. Mailbox is full and can't accept messages at this time. Text Stella. Hey, I'm kind of worried after you ran off last night. Text me as soon as you get the chance. You wait for a few silent minutes. Your message sits undelivered. I haven't heard from her either. That's not good. I know we haven't exactly gotten along, but we should meet up in town and look for her together. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Take a shower. Check the closet. Why can I check the closet every time and see this doll? Also, did the doll move? Because I feel like the doll was just kind of laying flat on the top and now it's sliding down a little bit. Yeah, the doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. Your long dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. Something to mull over for the rest of the day. Take a shower. Can't wait for the knife-wielding maniac to get me in the shower. Feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of the day. In the meantime, you think about the door in the clinic. You're still drawn to it even now. You'll be going back there today, I'm sure of it. Think about the afterlife. It's undeniably real at this point, and what you've seen is terrifying. Think about Stella running off last night. Hopefully she's just sleeping in. Think about someone special. I don't know who that is right now. To be honest, I'm most interested in that clinic, at the door in the clinic. You'll be going back there today, you're sure of it. Swear to God, I'm having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today. Are the flowers more wilted and dead? Find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. They weren't bluffing after all, they're actually striking, and this week of all weeks. As if I didn't have enough on my plate already. I had time to go make some arrangements last night, so at least the mind can keep running on a skeletal crew while I sort this out. Thanks for telling me. If history is anything to go off of here, it almost doesn't matter how strong the strike seems. This is Tabitha's battle to lose. There isn't a union in Scarlet Hollow, which means a proper strike isn't even legal. Your cousin can do pretty much whatever she wants. She could fire everyone and wait them out, for instance, or pick and choose her targets. If the mine's in trouble, you should just sell it and sell the estate. Get out while you still can. I feel like this will be met with animosity. She doesn't want to leave, and she thinks that leaving is an abandonment of her responsibilities, and doesn't like me because she considers my part of the family having done exactly that. So I don't think that this will be a good statement for her. What happened last night? Can't get a hold of Stella. Do you think she's all right? I'm sure she's just processing what happened last night. We weren't the only ones who were traumatized. All right, let's talk about the strike. Usually I'm pro-union, but do you know what the strikers even want? I haven't seen a list of demands. I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that if any one of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune. Just give them what they want, Tabitha. That's the right thing to do. It's no use fighting the inevitable. Please, there's plenty of use fighting the inevitable. Every single person does it every day, and they still draw a breath. Yeah, but aren't you like the path of least resistance, Tabitha? I feel like you're saying that for selfish reasons. Besides, this isn't inevitable. I still have plenty of time to save the mines. Shouldn't have needed me to warn you about a strike. I've only been in town for 3 days, and it's obvious that's where this was heading. So you're bringing in scabs. Yes, I'm bringing in scabs, if that's what you want to call them. And there's plenty of miners who are going to report to work today for a business as usual. Look, you don't know how hard this is. I'm just trying to keep the place running, and every day it finds a new and hellish way to collapse around me. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna double down on this. If the mine's in trouble, you should just sell it. Sell the estate. Get out while you can. Tabitha bristles. You really are... Yeah, I figured. You really are Vivian's kid, aren't you? Trying to bow out just when things get difficult. I'm not giving up like that. This is the Scarlet mine. I'm not going to cash out on our family's legacy. I'm bringing the mine back to life one way or another. It feels good, doesn't it? Getting rid of something our family left behind like that. I love following up this with this. It's like, yeah, speaking of like responsibilities that we are like kind of, you know, indebted to. How about let's talk about your family being an absolute shit. How about that one? Sure, but you did most of the heavy lifting there. So go surreal. I still can't get over that. I can. What does that actually change about anything? I still have a mine to run, and you still have a funeral to attend. Well, I mean, it kind of proof of any kind of afterlife is a little bit scary. Anyone like would be, I don't know. Never mind. Guess not you. You should probably get going, right? Yeah. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe. No more hijinks. But let me know if you get in trouble, okay? Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Talk to Frou Frou. You walk over to the cat. Oh, c'est toi. Qu'est-ce que tu vas maintenant? I don't know what he just said. I missed you last night, Frou Frou. Nah, nod respectfully to Frou Frou. He hates me. She scoffs. Oh, she scoffs, her tail twitching with annoyance, but you can sense she's less annoyed than she usually is. Maybe she's getting used to you. Do you know anything about the stone carvings scattered around town? I am not here to be your commentator. Chien detective. Je suis un chat. I am here to watch you flail around into the darkness. I'm not here to provide answers to whatever mysteries confound your feeble American mind. I missed you last night, Frou Frou. That makes one of us. Bye, Frou Frou. Good talk. She scoffs as you turn away. PB&J time, yo! I clapped. If Stella's MIA, who knows when you'll get the chance to eat. You make yourself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. It's time to head to town. Head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. The sun shines down through a thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. Can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line. Oh, there's a ditchling right there, and right there, and right there, and right there. There's ditchlings visible right away. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. To your surprise, you find a familiar face making its way up the path towards you. Damn, Bingle, how many cartons of cigarettes has the cat smoked? She is a French broad. She has smoked as much as a cat can legally smoke. Hey, I was just coming up to see you. Hope you were able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. I was up most of the night, totally wired on adrenaline. There's ditchlings everywhere now, even though it's daytime. Avery turns to survey the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny now that I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little Shar-Pei faces. So should I be worried about these things? I know they're a bad omen or something, but like, are they dangerous? They're not gonna eat me if I take a wrong turn, right? Not eaten, just using it as an incubator. That's probably worse though, I don't know. They've only been using wild animals so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if they switch to larger prey soon. An incubator. So they don't eat people? That's not so bad. I could handle a couple eggs under my skin. Damn, Avery is just like game for whatever. The animals didn't make it out of the incubation stage intact. But they didn't have modern medication on their side. I'm sure I could figure it out with the help of a doctor or two and make it out relatively unscathed. Maybe I'd even be able to let the eggs hatch instead of just having them removed. It'd be sad to kill the babies, but at the end of the day, if it's just me or them, I gotta go with self-preservation. You care about the babies? Gotta go. Remember to read the trigger warnings on chapter 4, though. Oh yeah, good point. Thank you. Oh, there's a lot of them. Okay, here we go. Body horror, realistic gore, parental abuse, poisoning, non-consensual drug use, possible major character death, unreality, manipulation, loss of control, loss of self, parental death, car accidents, being held against one's will, guns, murder, matricide, depression, amputation, child amputation, auditory gore, stalking, implied sex, mutilation, possible unwanted advances, decapitation, dismemberment, we're not done yet, PTSD, gaslighting, animals in peril, burning alive, Jesus, mental illness, needles, memory loss, cannibalism, mention of stillbirth, good God. Episode 4 does not hold back. What? You don't agree? That's fine, to each their own. I'm the kind of person who wouldn't mind giving a couple weird little creatures a warm place to pupate if I have it to spare. And if they don't kill me. How are you doing today? I'm great. With something like possession, I kind of feel like there are more upsides than down. There aren't a lot of people out there who can say they've been through something like that. It's a pretty cool badge of honor as far as I'm concerned. Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much, and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like that last night was awful. She's usually so unflappable. Seems like those walls are finally starting to crack. I hope she's okay. Kanika and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Want to come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I've got time. I don't know how much time, though. From what I saw this morning, there's already a few miners holed up in there. They must be using it as home base for the strike. Let's head back to town. I hope no one reads into me not flirting with Avery, but I'm not flirting with anybody, so. Good idea. You and Avery start back down to town. It isn't long until you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Thought Kanika was sick. You made it, and you picked up an Avery along the way. Hope you're both doing okay, like, emotionally. Yeah, I'm not too bad. That's good. I feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints all out of whack. Totally exhausted and super foggy. Mom has been insisting I caught a cold and I wasn't buying it. But as of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering the ridiculously stressful week we've all had. But I'm not going to let that stop me from looking for Stella. Someone manning the general store while we are looking for Stella? Mom and Miles can deal for another day while we go looking for Stella. This is important. Not that the store isn't, but if something happened to her and I was spending my time minding the register, I don't think I could live with that. I was kind of surprised you reached out to me after all the issues between you and Tabitha. I care more about finding Stella than I do about the ongoing feud between me and your cousin, and I'm not going out there alone, because the last thing I want is to go missing while looking for someone who went missing. We do everything in groups from now on. People shouldn't be judged by their family anyways. Whatever people may think of your cousin, it has nothing to do with you. I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. After last night, I wouldn't doubt that she actually could. Your mom's always had a bit of that Glinda vibe going for her. Maybe I should stop making fun of her whole new age mystic thing. A lot's happened in the last couple of days. I need to take a page out of Stella's book and just block this shit out. I need to be focused. I can't keep having all these existential crises. Crises? There'll be plenty of time for tea after we found Stella. Do you still think there could be a rational explanation for all of this? Kanika sighs heavily. Rational? Sure. Rooted in the reality that until a few days ago I thought was devoid of all magic and supernatural shit? No. Ghosts are real. They can suck you into illusionary dimensions and puppet your body like a fleshy marionette. Next thing you know, we'll find out there's a secret society of warlocks running around the country, or that angels are real. You gotta admit, it's kind of thrilling, isn't it? Anything could be possible. Who knows what the new day holds for all of us? Would be a little more thrilling if it weren't terrifying. All the magical stuff we found so far just wants to hurt us. We need a magical being that's on our side. Where are the magical girls when you need them, right? Kanika, your mom's totally a witch, right? Maybe she's the magical girl. No way. She's just a new age crystal and herbs lady. She's not. You don't think? She could be for real. Anything seems possible these days. Let's not forget that Wayne threatened her last night. You don't think he actually followed through on that, do you? I've been trying not to think about it. Does anyone know what happened to that guy? Some kind of accident or something? Mom says he's sick, and I don't doubt that he is, but with all the weird magic stuff going on, I'm starting to wonder if it's a normal illness or something else. Okay, let's get started. I don't want to waste another minute. Where to first? Should check in on Oscar. He's smart. Check out the diner. Go to the mines. Check out the church. Let Avery know that you and Kanika can take it from here. No. Let's go to Stella's house. I haven't been there before. Maybe Gretchen will be there. Good place to start. Maybe she's just slept in. That's what I'm hoping. I would have gone already, but I was kind of nervous about doing anything but by myself today. Just in case I ran into yet another horror from beyond the veil or whatever. Make your way towards Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. Not from around here. Is it normal for people to leave their doors open? I've left my patio door open on occasion, usually when I'm home, but I've had squirrels take that as an invitation on too many times and bust in to take a few bites out of my plants, so even I keep my doors closed. It's bad enough that they go after everything in the community garden, but to come into my house and help themselves to my precious leafy babies. The squirrels of Scarlet Hollow are my only true enemies. And Stella would definitely know better than to leave her door wide open like this, especially considering the ditchlings situation. Might as well invite ourselves in, right? Yeah, we should go in. Cool, I'll be brave and go first. Avery casually steps over the threshold into Stella's house. Interesting that we could have just gone in ourselves before anything else. I'm assuming that's Gretchen's bed, the one that says princess. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. It doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything unless it happened in another room, or maybe someone or something caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. I'm going to forget that you said that and just be thankful that this doesn't look like a crime scene. Investigate the kitchen. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple cabinets are hanging open and a loaf of bread sits on the corner by a used butter knife. Is Stella's kitchen normally this messy? I wouldn't call this messy. It's a little messy. If this is a little messy, I don't want to know what you call my room. I wasn't judging. There's nothing wrong with a little mess. Or a lot of mess. We're getting off track. Stella's house has always felt a little sterile to me. This feels a little too lived in, if that makes sense. I like the sponge holder. Though maybe that's just because I've only ever been over when she was already expecting me. Maybe this is just a rare peek behind the curtain at the real Stella. I mean, honestly, this looks pretty clean to me. I like that she has a portrait of Gretchen on the wall. Real Stella should call her friends and let them know she's okay. Investigate Stella's room. You make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. I'd better not hear a single comment about this room being messy. I wasn't going to say anything. Check her computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? Well, I'm wondering if maybe she was like following a lead or something. We already broke into her house, right? For all we know, there could be some sort of clue on there, like a note detailing exactly where she is. We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open. Maybe the computer was left open too. Exactly. If there isn't a password, maybe we're supposed to take a peek. Maybe we'll find the first note in an elaborate scavenger hunt she set up overnight. Okay, fine, but I'm going to stand over your shoulder the whole time and make sure you don't go looking for anything personal. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor. They overlap each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. How do we find anything on here? I'm suddenly a lot less worried about an invasion of privacy and a lot more worried about this being a complete waste of time. Sift through the chaos. You've spent plenty of time with computers and are more than capable of sifting through the chaos of a messy desktop. One folder catches your eye: boring tax stuff. Years of helping friends with their computers have made you all too familiar with this folder. Boring tax stuff never contains boring tax stuff. For that matter, it never contains anything related to taxes, and its contents are never boring. Open the folder. Actual pictures of Tabitha. You open the folder. That looks like a TTRPG map to me. You're surprised to find it contains a carefully mapped out diagram of the Scarlet Hollow mines. Okay. Including holes in fences and areas with low visibility. There's also a handful of old photos of Stella and Tabitha as teenagers. Tabitha wears an uncharacteristic grin. An authentic, joyful smile, and Stella's eyes are somehow brighter, less tired. Both of them seem to be living in a happier time. Okay, this is way too personal. I'm gonna go stand in the corner while you wrap this up. You think? Check her open tabs. It would take you all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser. So numerous. This is a personal attack. This is a personal attack on specifically me right now. So numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon, a sea of rounded, featureless triangles from Windows Edge to Windows Edge. Her most recently open tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. You've visited Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm in the past, despite the name, and despite the fact that posters call themselves Carl's Big Feet. The community takes itself very seriously, and it's one of the more consistently active cryptid boards on the web. The post in question is titled "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow. Hidden Appalachia. Hey everyone, was out chasing a skunk ape sighting the other day and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good leads? Camera isn't shaky enough, this is totally staged. Clean footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except for your friend's mom. The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England. Thought you were legit. Guys, since when did high quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Lucky Stars, isn't that an anime? It's like the only non-cryptid related name. That's really funny. Since every low budget horror movie, what is this? Gary 21254979. Every low budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing. I smell an ARG. I'm serious. I've gotten a ton of extra footage. Look at what they've been doing to the animals in town. They're apparently some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Mothstan. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. Mothman mentioned. I believe you. Lucky, you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. The thread continues into the next day. Hey, okay, so one, this isn't an ARG, I would never. And two, you're not going to believe this, but we went into an abandoned mine last night to investigate things. Pretty sure we found some Tommy knockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. There's a link to an audio file titled Tommy Knockers Real.wave. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. Imagine spending your time and day as a user on a forum dedicated to cryptids and then not believing any of the actual evidence of cryptids. But I kind of get it, honestly. 2 supernatural events on back-to-back nights. This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that river runner type. You're so full of it. YouTubers are always going to sell out to big indie horror. This is kidnapped by aliens all over again. Also, lol. Doughy white things and now loud popping noises. This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Stop cyberbullying her or I'm going to call the mods. Locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. Oh my god, this is too real. Ouch. Explore her search history. She hasn't visited any website since Tuesday night. She came home after last night's incident. She didn't touch her browser. Her search history is almost entirely work-related. A furious series of queries for various monsters and cryptids that might fit the profile of ditchlings. That's it. Okay, I think we've seen enough. Thank God. Well, that tells us she wasn't here last night, which is not great. I don't think there's any clues here. I don't think so either. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. I could use a few more houseplants. I'll put something together some trimmings after we found her. She still does those corkboard with string things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything. They're more for decoration. You turn to leave Stella's house. Okay, so maybe she came home last night. Maybe she didn't. She's definitely missing. She definitely didn't come home last night. But also definitely someone else was looking for her. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I hoped she would just be sleeping in. I can't believe she's actually missing. We're going to the cops. I know they probably won't do anything. No, we're not going to the cops. They're completely pointless. We should check in on Oscar. He's smart. Maybe he'll know what to do. I hope nothing else happened after we all went home last night. They're so brave for sleeping in that house after everything we went through. I'd rather sleep in the woods with the ditchlings than someplace that was that haunted. Your mom said it's safe. I'm inclined to believe her. Why would she lie? How would she know that? Magic, probably. There's only one way to find out. Morning light streams in through the library's large windows. In the bright daylight, it's once again a place of comfort, all menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure. No ghost, thank God. I was not up for an encore. It's gone, just like your mom said it would be. Can't help but overhear the murmurings of an intense conversation coming from the mayor's office. Or rather, the murmurings of an intense animal conversation. You start making your way upstairs towards the mayor's office. Hey, where are you going? A small gang of dogs holds court in the mayor's office. Most of the dogs quietly watch from the sidelines, but two of them, a sheepdog and a basset hound, are in heated conversation with Mayor Jimmy. Their tags read Scraps and Daisy. Sounds like you've all sorted this out. I don't see what you need me to do about any of it. Sorted? Things ain't sorted until this town is safe. Now, we may have got the beginnings of a militia together, but there's plenty of pets out there who are still ill-informed about those things crawling out in the woods. You're the mayor. They'll listen to you. Just tell them to stay inside until it's handled. Listen, Scraps, buddy, I hear you, but the last thing we need right now is anarchy in the streets. It's no use. I told you he'd be bullheaded. He's always bullheaded. Always the sore loser, aren't we, Daisy? Things are fine. Nobody has to worry about a thing. The mayor pulls himself away from the conversation to acknowledge you. Ho ho. I remember you. You're that out-of-towner from yesterday. The speaker. The other dogs murmur amongst themselves for a moment, then turn to face you. I'm sorry you had to see this little display. Politics can get so messy. So you're the Scraps I've heard so much about. Have any of you seen or smelled Gretchen? She and her person are missing. Is she missing? Oh dear, Scraps, you don't think... Gretchen's person would never let that happen, or wherever she is, I'm sure she's safe from those things. A dog like her doesn't get to be that age without a watchful human at her side. Even if she's safe, I don't like the sound of this. See, Jimmy, this is the cost of inaction. Gretchen is a pillar of our community, and she's missing. What will it take for you to finally open your eyes and do something? If you wait until you're the last dog left in Scarlet Hollow, it'll be far too late to save yourself. Yes, I get it. You're all very upset, but what do you expect me to do about it? Shut down the town? What about economy? It's amazing how they've really captured the dipshittery of an actual mayor inside this dog. Do you even know what economy is, Jimmy? Or are you just throwing around fancy words you've heard the humans say? Of course, I know what economy is. I know all about economyism. Oh, good. Because I've never understood a lick of it when humans talk about economy. I just figured it was just a made-up word. They yell at each other when they want to stop talking. So please, enlighten us. I'm not going to debase myself by playing a game of trivia, not in front of the speaker. I thought so. To answer your question, we did catch a whiff right around here and another near her house. Haven't picked up anything around town since then. Let's hope those creatures haven't already gotten to her. Can you help us find her? You've got better noses for this sort of thing. We'll do our best. We didn't intend to make any more trips out into the woods, but if it's for Gretchen, we'll take that risk. She's a well-liked dog in these parts, been around longer than any of us. It'd be a blow to the community for her to fall victim to those monstrosities. Gretchen really admires you, Scraps. Oh, she flatters me, so I'm nothing special, just another dog. All the more reason to go after her before it's too late. Don't be so modest, Scraps. You're the kind of dog other dogs listen to. It's a damn shame the humans are so charmed by that charlatan. I'm right here, Daisy. I'm well aware. You think you're so high and mighty, don't you? Just because you can sit and stay the best. As if obedience is the best quality in a leader. Mr. Mayor, you should listen to Daisy and Scraps on this one. There won't be anarchy in the streets to worry about if every animal in town is taken by ditchlings. Your opinion is noted, but I've been mayor for over 14 years. I know what I'm doing. That's 14 dog years, Jimmy. If you're not going to help, the least you can do is not sniff the speaker's ass. Suppose you were right, Daisy. This was just a waste of time, but I needed to hear it with my own ears before I could really believe it. I'll save the I told you so for later. Let's go rally the others. This town won't save itself. You and the dogs exit the mayor's office and close the door behind you. They quickly turn a corner and vanish from your line of sight. I thought you were going to help me. You find Kanika and Avery waiting for you in the lobby. Okay, maybe Stella's right. Maybe you can actually talk to animals. After last night, I'm willing to believe pretty much anything. At least Murphy talking to animals is a bit of magic on her side. I guess Oscar must be in the back. I know that's where I'd be if I finally managed to unhaunt my house. I've always been surprised at how unsupervised this place is. Sometimes it feels like anyone could just walk in and do whatever they want. Like what? Steal books? I mean, they could, right? I'm not saying anyone would. I'm just saying that people in this town trust each other a lot. That's nice. Let's go find Oscar. You make your way back towards the annex. It feels strange to be back here in the light of day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream. This hallway really takes me back. It feels like it was only yesterday that we were last here, blissfully unaware that our entire lives were about to change forever. It was only yesterday. I know. Kanika knocks on the door. Oh, good morning. So good to see all of you. Please come in. Hello? Wah. Wah. Hello? Do I have any coffee left? Nope. You're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave. Oh, it's Dr. Kelly. You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5. But you are brave. You really are, Rosalina. You're like so badass. Alexis is right. This is more than most people have to deal with in their whole lives, and here you are taking it like a champ. Dr. Kelly's kind demeanor vanishes as she turns and glares at you. Oh, I see we have visitors. Have any of you seen Stella since last night? Not since dinner. She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? Nope. We have no clue where she's gone. That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I feel terrible. I should have done a better job warning her. Why is this guy always self beat up? Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you are gonna be able to stop her. Yes, yes. Uh-huh. Don't mind my cat. He just likes to rub his face on the mic and then just purr loudly into it. I'm just like trying to get him to settle down. I don't even think she knows how she'd react. Besides, you didn't know how bad it was going to get. You can't blame yourself for everything. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but sometimes it's just not going to be possible. You're only one guy. That's what Rosalina's always saying. I keep not settling on how I pronounce Rosalina's name. I suppose I do apologize more than I should. I really do. You really do. How is she doing? She can tell us herself. What do you say, Rosalina? How are you? tired. My leg hurts a lot, but the medicine is helping. It's not so bad now. Plus, I got to lie down in an actual bed last night, and you have no idea how good that felt. Thanks, Murphy. Can't believe you got any sleep last night after all that ghost stuff. I just sat on the couch with all the lights on. I don't think I slept at all. I really needed some rest after, you know, the hospital and my foot. Your body is desperately trying to get you to rest. All that activity yesterday was pretty brutal on your injury. It's never going to stop hurting if you keep pushing yourself. So what are you not going to do today? Anything? That's right. You're staying right here. No walking around, no investigating haunted houses. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I should have been better at stopping her. Take full responsibility. As her father, I should have. No need for anyone to step in to take blame for anything. It's the hospital's fault for sending her home at all. Gross negligence, if you ask me. Give it time, and you can do all the activities you want. All right? I'm guessing Charlie didn't come back for an encore. Not as far as I know. I slept in Rosalina's room. Made sure to put some heavy objects on top of the hatch just to give myself a little extra peace of mind. Nothing happened. That's good enough for me. I didn't see anything either, but even if something did happen, I wouldn't know. I was asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. Too tired to worry about ghosts anymore, to be honest. Losing a limb will do that, especially if you decide to tromp around the next day like nothing happened. I would have been fine if it weren't for Charlie. Good thing he's gone then. Let's hope he stays gone. Wait, Oscar, did you tell Dr. Kelly about... Yeah, I told her everything. He did. I'm sorry that happened. Dr. Kelly's steel gaze is impenetrable. It's impossible to tell if she genuinely believes Oscar's story or if she decided she'd be better off humoring him. How's Reese? He's fine. Had a rough night, but he'll recover. He's used to this sort of thing. He just needs a couple of days to get back on his feet. That means no more excitement. Not even a movie. Sorry to hear that, Dr. Kelly. Oh, I don't want to see Chi Death Blood. I was promised chilling Japanese found footage horror. Watch it on your own. I'm sure your cousin has a TV lying around somewhere in that big house. Warn Dr. Kelly about the stone carvings and what you felt in the clinic. This is... I'm good. So you've got your meds, you've got your nest of pillows, a helpful friend by your side, and a cat to keep you company. Seems like you're all set. Make sure you do a whole lot of nothing today. I will. Bye, Dr. Kelly. Thanks again for coming down to see us, Joanne, I assume. Not a problem. I'd much rather she stay put than have to get in and out of cars. I'll call later today to see how things are going. Hope the rest of the week is less eventful for the both of you. Goodbye, Rosalina. God damn, I really can't settle on one pronunciation or the other. Make sure you stay put and keep Pixel company, okay? Don't worry, Doc. I keep her warm. I'm helping. Dr. Kelly's features harden once again as she steps towards the door. Then she pushes past you to leave Oscar's house. I'll let you kids have some space. Alexis, why don't you figure out a restful activity for you and Rosalina? Will do. Mr. Gutierrez? I don't know how to... Gutierrez? I brought some video games and puzzles from my house and some movies too. Whatever you want to do, Rosalina. Oscar ushers you down back to the library. What's up? Is everything okay? Everything's fine, or at least much better than yesterday. I can't thank you all enough. I'd like to be as helpful as I can from here on out, now that our little situation is dealt with. I'll finally have time to dig into the town's archives. Our house was haunted because someone was murdered there. The mine collapse the other night was at the site of the mass grave. With enough research, maybe we'll be able to get a step ahead of the next crisis. Maybe we can actually preempt it. That is, assuming there's going to be a next crisis, but something tells me we aren't in the clear yet. Should compare notes. Not that I have any to start with, but if you know anything that might narrow down my research. It could save me a lot of time. I don't think we actually know that much more than you do, but I've got some hunches. Can't help but feel like there must have been some inciting event, since everything started getting weird seemingly overnight. What that inciting event was, or where to start looking for it, I have no idea. It's something to keep in mind. I mean, it's obvious, right? Things only started happening once Murphy got here. I think it has more to do with Perlan's death. You're not wrong. If there's a catalyst for all of this, why wouldn't it be a lost Scarlet finally coming home to Scarlet Hollow? If I may, Murphy getting into town isn't the only major event that's happened lately. Perlan died over a week ago, and those creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time he arrived. Not to mention I started seeing things in our house before Perlan passed. I think I never thought to make a note of exactly when the spirit made itself known. There's a root cause for all of this. Hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in the bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. We've been finding these weird stone seals. There was one in the mines and another in your basement. There might be more. These are those carvings you mentioned last night. To think that there was something like that under my house all this time. To think someone must have put it there, but who? That gives me quite a few threads to follow. Thank you, Murphy. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if you were right yesterday, Murphy. What if there really is another one of those carvings in the clinic? Does that mean the clinic is going to be overrun with ghosts soon? Should we warn Dr. Kelly? She may have believed Oscar about last night, but I don't know how receptive she'd be if we told her there might be ghosts in her house. Even if she believed us, she's stubborn. It's a shame she preemptively shot down our movie night. It would have been the perfect cover. After last night, I don't think there is a perfect cover. There's no way she's letting us anywhere near her house. She's the only doctor in town. She can't just ban people from the clinic, right? I don't think so, but hopefully nobody gets sick or hurt enough to justify a visit over the next couple of days. If we're going to investigate the clinic, I think we are going to have to break in. That is unexpected coming from you. It's what Stella would do, and she's been 3 for 3 this week when it comes to finding spooky stuff. She's also been 3 for 3 when it comes to finding her way into mortal peril. This is why we have to find her as soon as possible. It shouldn't fall on me to suggest we do something dangerous. I'm terrible at selling it. Not that I don't think we should figure out what's going on in there. We just need to be cautious about what we do next. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it is to help a friend. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? Oh my god, I have 31 achievements in this game out of 219. They want you to replay this game like 20 times. That is wild. That is crazy though. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? I kind of forget where I was. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts. This is why we have to find her as soon as possible. It shouldn't fall on me to suggest. Okay, yeah, we were talking about breaking into the doctor's house so that we can check if she has an engraving in the house. We have a carving right here. Maybe studying it can give us some new leads. Wonder if this could be the work of some cult. No, I like this idea. Maybe studying it can give us some new leads. I'm going to turn it down for me. I don't know how the volume is, chat. Not a chance. I know the ghost is probably gone for good, but that thing is evil. And if there's even the slightest chance that going back down there triggers something, it's not worth disturbing. At least not until we know more. My daughter's safety comes first right now. We finally have our house back, and I'm not taking any risks until we know what we're dealing with. No arguments here. I wonder if this could be the work of some cult. I don't know, I'm just throwing things out there. Let's not get all satanic panic just yet. I know it's not looking unlikely at this point, but having lived in this town all my life, I feel like I would know if there's some cult that ran the place. Of Gotta agree with Kanika on this. I feel like I'd have picked up on something. Cult doesn't necessarily have to run the town to have had an impact here. Doesn't even need to be active. From what I gather, those carvings you've been talking about are old, and whoever left them here is probably long gone. I'll see what I can find. You never know. I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella, and fast. I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. Yeah, that's right. We're looking for Stella, who is missing. And maybe more importantly, Gretchen is missing as well. Saw the appealing art style, but it also had an unintentionally super diverse cast of characters, gender, background, even ethnicity, and the OC originally was only Dioko music. I mean, honestly, this is not sounding like a controversial recommendation. It sounds sick as hell. The bar for mobile games is extremely low now, but like honestly, it seems like it was really cool. And playing it without the monetization stuff like sounds like the ideal. Let us know what you find. I will. All right, so we're gonna go and find Stella. So that's Oscar. Any other ideas? Check out the diner. We could check out the mines. We should check out the church. I haven't been to the church, so you never know. It might be the outside pocket choice. Why? I see what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might try getting into all the that religious stuff. It's worth checking out. I think we'd be barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point in not being thorough. Wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we are there too. Seems like a good idea to cover all our bases at this point. I don't think Baptists do the holy water thing, but I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around a little longer. That's good enough for me. Let's not linger though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts. Daniel is the one who also speaks to animals, right? Takes us the gradual slope towards the church. This is the first time I've been here. You know, I've lived here for a few years now, and I've never actually been to the church. Probably for a good reason. Where is that weirdo? My. It is a gacha game, which I would never recommend to others. So it being dead is the only reason I can do it now. That's funny. 4 visitors at once on a Thursday. What kind of voice should I give this guy? This is unprecedented. He's like out of breath always. There are only 3 of us. Oh no, we were followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by a Wayne? What's up, old people? That's how I'm gonna address everyone from now on. Even if I'm old, addressing old people. Sup, old people? Oh, it's just Zane. What are you doing here? Oh wait, that was Kanika. Oops. All the glimpses of death I've had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if Faith held any answers for me. Alas, I have not found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. Sometimes it takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart. When he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you. And of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Never touch anything from MiHoYo. Whatever they call themselves now. Aniplex Psy Games. Can't recommend the one from the Lobotomy Corp people. You can't recommend the one from the... You can't recommend... what is it called? My friend plays the absolute crap out of that game. Like, non-stop. Limbus? Limbus Company? Is that what it's called? Yeah, it is called Limbus Company. I mean, it seems to run a range of like people really liking it, but also it's a gacha game. And I mean, I know those guys are really good at writing a story. I also couldn't finish Library of Ruina. I just didn't have it in me to figure it out. It was extremely dense. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night and no one has seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hoped maybe you or Janie had seen her. Can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's over there by the alpacas. Though Murphy, Murphy, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. Sure, what's up? I guess we'll leave you to it while we check in with Janie. See you in a minute. Your friends head off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. I'm so glad you came. I've never met anyone else who could hear them. You have no idea how long I thought I must have had some kind of insanity, even though I even thought at one point that it must have been the Lord himself talking to me through them. They never had anything very insightful to say, so I was disavowed of that pretty early on. Have you met Frou-Frou, Gretchen, Pixel? Of course I have, but I learned early on in life not to let on that I have this gift, at least while other humans are around, so I haven't spoken with any of them. Feels atrocious to play unless you have the barest minimum. At the barest minimum, have their stupid $10 season passes. The story is okay, but regurgitating its story beats too much and suffers from every pred gotcha mechanic. Well, that's a dang shame. Though I get the feeling Frou-Frou wouldn't talk to me even if she knew I would understand her. I could understand her. I've tried to befriend the alpacas when no one else is around. Emphasis on tried. They're surprisingly cliquey. Besides that, I try to maintain a low profile, only chatting with the wildlife when I'm sure no one is looking. Is your gift why you got into the church? It's hard to say. I was raised Baptist by two loving parents and was always interested in religion, but I've also always known about my talent, so I don't know what came first. If anything, though, I'd say I'm religious in spite of the gift. It hasn't exactly been easy to square this with a lot of the religious education I've had. For instance, a lot of religious leaders will tell you that only humans have souls. Well, you and I both know that's not true. Though I suppose that gets into a whole different conversation about what exactly a soul is. But those are conversations that I'm glad to leave to the scholars. I'm just a simple small town pastor. I don't need to ask the big questions anymore. I just have to help people through their daily lives. Come on. I'm cleaning my reading spectacles. Okay. Are we sure we're actually talking to animals? Is this why people think you're creepy because you have the gift? Hope you don't think the two of us sharing the gift means we're friends. I hope you know that this means the two of us are bonded for life, best friends. Nobody else understands what it's like to be us. I was hoping you'd say something along those lines. Oh no. Can I give a minor spoiler about Daniel? Sure. Even without my ability, Scarlet Hollow's been a lonely place. I'll have you know I was actually quite popular before I came to town. But I was actually hoping to talk to you about something more than just fellowship. It's Tulip, my daughter. I'm beginning to have suspicions that she inherited the gift. There have been some particularly nasty rats in the church lately, and she's said some things that have led me to believe she might be able to understand them. He's interrupted by the sound of snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. Tulip, come out of there! You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good, or are we going to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods, I promise. I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's about time they got fed. You can give them hay. Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. He is a weirdo. but he is just genuinely cursed to come across this way and designed to trap people into thinking he is shady, with all other characters hating him. So there's nothing wrong with him. He's not actually a weird, like a weird. Hey, look, it's Wayne. Hey, Wayne. I wonder how often he's appeared and I haven't noticed. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into those woods a lot lately, and it's really dangerous even for adults. There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees. Must be at least 50 years old. It's all grown over and looks like it's part of the landscape. Nope, he is just cursed? Oh, interesting. If you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Hey, I've heard about this place before. Oh, Tetanus Lake. Stella told me about it. Tetanus Lake? That's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip would stay away if I started calling it that, or if it would only make it sound more alluring. I think he's just cursed with this voice I'm giving him, and that's why everyone thinks he's a weirdo. How big a trash dump are we talking? Would a weekend of hard work clear it out? Maybe if you had construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area. I have no idea how deep it goes. In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tulip knows not to go near it. What were you saying about the church rats? Yeah, the rats. You and I are used to the sort of chatter we hear from wildlife. It's usually nothing that needs to be paid attention to. But these rats, there's something so sinister about them. They must be huge, judging by the sound of them scurrying around in there. You're further than I ever got right now, by the way. Oh. Tulip had never shown evidence. Tulip had never shown evidence of the ability before. She's never responded to the alpacas or engaged in conversations with birds. In retrospect, she could have been hiding it the way I did growing up. But because I know she's been talking to the rats, she calls them her friends, has been drawing all these pictures of them, really ghastly things. I've tried to bring it up with her, but she just gets this little smile and doesn't say a word, like it's her fun little secret. It's all innocent enough in the grand scheme of things, but I'm pretty sure they also live out in that trash heap. And ever since she started talking about her friends, she's been trying to sneak out there. I'm concerned she's gonna get hurt or catch some kind of disease. Have you tried befriending them? Maybe Tulip's onto something. I can't say I'm interested. They don't seem like they'd be very good friends. I don't usually use strong language like this, but I hate rats. Those tails, ugh. God knew exactly what he was doing when he made rats. They look just as bad as the disease they carry. No way I would want to get cuddly with one, let alone let any of them get close to Tulip. Still, I suppose I could try talking to them. If that fails, maybe you could lend a hand. I don't want to be too much of a bother, and you should probably finish looking for your missing friend first, but I'll be around if you have time to check in later this week. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kanika and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Murphy. We got to feed the alpacas. They were so cute and soft. It was awesome. Janie says she'll come by the diner with cookies for the miners, and a few extra for me, of course. She's so nice. She even offered to bring me some since I'm feeling under the weather. Hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yeah, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by. Even if it wasn't under the best circumstances, I'll let y'all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. Alright, thanks. See ya. Kanika and Avery start back down the path to town and you follow. So, what was that about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone. Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? He can also talk to animals. He just wanted to discuss it with me. I can't believe that of all the people in the world you could have shared that ability with, you wound up stuck with Pastor Daniel. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? Let's check out the diner, since we're right there. I know we're burning daylight. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Here's hoping Winnie doesn't try to rope me into clocking in early. It feels like you've walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they're having what seems to be an intense discussion, their expressions gravely serious. What's going on? There's a strike up at the mines. They've made the diner their base of operations. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gotten missing, and I've been helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize now. I can't say I have. Should I be worried about her? I hope not. We're not interrupting anything here, are we? Of course not. Any paying customer is welcome, as long as you aren't about to step on anybody's toes or cause a fuss. The miners in back were too engaged in conversation to notice you enter, and instead of speaking in hushed voices, argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. Sure, the shaft schedules are tough, and sure, we don't get enough time off for me to see my family as often as I'd like, but this is the best job I can get right now. Listen, kid, you're only a year or so into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it till you find something better. A paycheck's a paycheck, I get it. But the next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you. That uses up every free second it can suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can never save enough to get the hell out. Zax, we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. And this job still has its perks, like the company housing. I can't afford my own place and send money back home. I don't know where I would live if I didn't have this job. Right. The company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that housing as an excuse to pay us less. The company housing that means almost nobody in this town, whole damn town, owns the place they live. That's why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want. Zax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us can afford. We would have the numbers if y'all would stand with me and not let management scare tactics get to you. It's not just scare tactics. People like her now. That woman ran into a collapsing coal mine and saved 3 children from being buried alive. I feel you, I really do, but how are we supposed to organize a strike against a town hero? Are you trying to tell me that a mine collapsing less than 2 days ago is why you don't want to strike? It's a bad time, Zax. It's always a bad time, Baker. Doesn't matter whose name is on the deed for the place. Without us, there is no mine. We've got them against the ropes. We can't back down now or they'll come out swinging. I feel like if I do this, they're just going to clam up right away. But it looks like this is the end of eavesdropping anyway. I also feel like if I weigh in, there's only 2 ways that can go. I hurt my relationship with the miners, or I hurt my relationship with Tabitha. And I don't really want to do either of those things. But what the hell? The miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison. Somebody snitched to Tabitha. She caught us completely unprepared. For all we know, you overheard something and ratted us out. That's true, I did, accidentally, except she didn't believe me, so I didn't expect her to actually be prepared. You didn't, right? Oh, that was Kanika. Support you guys, but maybe you can save this until next week. Tabitha's mom just died. This whole strike thing is hardly fair. Nah, timing is perfect, actually. Do you think I like Tabitha? You've met her, right? Let me promise you that our blood relationship means nothing. Oof. Having to choose between you and your cousin and ethics. Pensive. I don't actually have a horse in this race. I didn't even know Scarlet Hollow existed until a few days ago. Lie, I'm not a snitch. I was a snitch. I'm sorry. I really didn't expect her to believe me, and she didn't. So, I'm not really a snitch, although I guess technically I am. kind of like this option right now, but it stands to gain me nothing on both sides. Like if Tabitha knows I say this, which it could lead back to her, although I think Kanika doesn't like Tabitha, so I don't think she would tell her. I feel like I can assume pretty well that anything I say here will lead back to Tabitha. It's just that kind of game. Someone will rat on me. You can say you support the strike. That's not mutually exclusive. Yeah, that's true. I may be the boss's cousin, but I support the strike. You're right about that. Whoa, even the boss family's on our side? Maybe this really could work. The whole town should be on our side. There was a collapse less than 2 days ago, and she expects us not to riot at the thought of being forced back down here. Well, to be really fair, though, the mine that collapsed was the abandoned mine, and you weren't being asked to go down that mine. You were being asked to go down a different shaft. Am I wrong? Secondly, there were already barriers and such to try and stop people from going down that, and they were ignored. And in fact, every single safety measure was ignored. So I don't know if that's necessarily on, like, yeah, there's the mine that was deemed unsafe turned out to be unsafe. I feel like that is like kind of fair. I don't know. It would be different if Tabitha was actually asking people to go down that specific mine. Damn straight. Hear, hear. Still, if you support the strike, the best thing you can do right now is not meddle with it. Trust can only go so far. No, Murphy is cool. I wouldn't hang out with him if he wasn't. You can't help who you're related to, right? Suppose you can't, but that doesn't mean we have to trust everyone who stumbles into town. I actually agree. I think that they should tell me nothing. No offense, but your friendship don't mean much to Diner Kid. You're friends with everybody, even the Julius freak. Diner Kid, I know you know Avery's name. If I ever hear you call them that again... Sorry, Miss Winnie, it won't happen again. Don't apologize to me. Sorry, Avery, I didn't mean to be so dismissive. Y'all are right, though. I am pretty friendly with most people in town. If my friendliness and ability to get along with people, with anybody, means I can't vouch for you, I guess that's that. Sorry, Murphy. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The YouTuber? We ain't seen her. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. Weigh in on the Baker and Harrison situation. Everyone should join the strike. Unite with your fellow workers. Screw my cousin. This is a private conversation. But you're right. Even if you are the boss's cousin and I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, this strike is only going to work if all of us stand together. What do you say, you two? I'll have to call my family, see what they say. My sister's tuition is riding on this job. Baker, I'll have to think on it. I guess we should get going. Avery and Kanika trailing. Did I seriously choose every option except the one that Stella's at? Maybe she's just nowhere. I'm supposed to get tea with your mom today. Maybe she'll have some ideas. Sure, we can humor her. She's probably going to give you some rocks or bundles of herbs for protection or something, which might actually work. Who knows? Guess there's only one way to find out. It was a sealed up, historically known to be unsafe place which Tabitha told you would never be allowed in this age. Yeah, I don't like Tabitha, and I definitely don't think she's a good boss. She seems pretty scummy, I'm not gonna lie. Also, she owns a coal mine. I am like super not in favor of her in like many ways. Also, she owns a mostly uncared for mansion. I just kind of don't agree with her on like every single level. But the mine collapsing was not her fault. Like that is like the one thing that was not her fault, unfortunately. Okay, we're gonna do a tea reading. Bells of the general store chime welcomingly as the three of you enter. There you are. You were supposed to stay in bed today, remember? Hello, you two. Hope you're both recovered from last night's fiasco. Sorry, Mom. It's just that Stella's missing, and Stella can take care of herself, unlike you. You need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours. Go on up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. I thought you had some kind of important thing to talk to Murphy about. I'm really feeling okay. I want to hear what you wanted to say to him. I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Bye, Murphy. Ah, oops. I'm so sorry to be a bad host, Avery. I was hoping Murphy and I could do our reading in private. I'm sure Winnie needs help at the diner. Damn, coming here has lost me my companions. Fine by me. I wouldn't want to mess with your tea vibes. I'm sure those leaves are very particular. Tabitha's like, none of you ever think about the sacrifices I have to make to keep the town running, like the only good thing in my life is ice cream I buy in bulk. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if I was in Tabitha's shoes, I would have sold the mansion. If I was going to keep the coal mine, I would have reinvested into it. I would have bought a more sensible place. Like, there are boarded up places in the town. You could probably buy them for a song. Reinvest the money back into the mine, making it a bit safer. And yeah, like, paying people a living wage. I know it's always easy to say, but like, I really feel like she could do that and she just chooses not to. But I know she cares a lot about the mansion and her family for some reason. And I'm sure part of that is because she's been lied to about her family. Oh, before I go, I did want to ask, are you a witch? As flattered as I am that you think I am that magical, I'm just an old lady who likes tea and has a few unusual hobbies. I'm just saying, doing stuff like reading tea leaves is pretty witchy as far as I'm concerned, but I won't push it. Though, just so you know, if you are a witch, you can totally tell us. We'd be cool about it. I'll leave y'all to your not supernatural private tea leaf reading. We'll catch up tomorrow, Murphy. Avery places a hand on your shoulder. I'll miss you, but duty calls. Sucks. Make their way out of the general store, disappearing down the street in the direction of the diner. My opinion is don't run a business if you can't provide for the employees. She just inherited a shitty situation and is proud of her heritage and cannot give up on it, even if the path is misguided. Yeah. Truth be told, if I'm being really honest about myself, I probably would have sold the business. I probably would still live in Scarlet Hollow. Because I imagine it would be very cheap to live here. But I probably would have sold the business and the mansion. Because I personally do not give a crap about heritage. But I say that as someone who is fairly intimately aware of my heritage and do not give a crap about it. So I guess it would be different for someone who was intimately aware of their heritage and did give a crap about it. Shall we? I'm sad that the tea reading got rid of Kanika and Avery. Please have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. I want tea in real life. That'd be kind of nice. You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here. Only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright glow lights over the plant in the corner. It's castor bean, an incredibly toxic plant, and strange for a tea maker to keep around in her workspace. So pretty though. Joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth. I wonder if this is where you can romance Sybil. She should have sold the town property to people and turned the mine into a museum, like a reverse discounty situation. Yeah. It's the same tea you sampled with Avery at the diner on Tuesday. I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? How did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? My family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of the hill folk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. You promised to tell me, what was it, unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Perlan was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine. Which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. Your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Perlan and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Oh. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. If you sacrificed your years to Charlie, you would presumably be in a non-weird age range to date Sybil. Interesting. Huh. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it, what with skipping town and all. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The youngest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. She seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock. So I assumed your mother's worries had something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I know. The way Vivian was that night when she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It's always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. Quit yanking me around. You have something to tell me, just come out and say it. No. What's with all the mystery and ritual? If you have something... No. Sip my tea. You sip the tea delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. The aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal. You find yourself feeling more comfortable. Your muscles relax for the first time in days. Finish the tea. Tea is gone before you know it. The small cup empty, save for what's left of dehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Good. Found the tea palatable enough to drink. Should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. On to business. Takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. This doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. We may, at the very least, be able to figure out what it is. There's a central figure here, a cat. An enemy, lurking in plain sight. Yo, is Frou-Frou the villain? It's not a truck, is it? Those are the 3 cats I know. How do I know you're not the cat? The cat's gotta be Pixel, or maybe it's Frou Frou, or Truck. Dear, the cat isn't a literal cat. Like I said, it's a symbol for an enemy lurking in plain sight. Probably a human enemy, but almost certainly not a cat. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. It's always someone from Montreal. That's right! The Quebecan cat must go! I shall make a poutine out of that feline. Saying it incorrectly just to enrage a Quebecan. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you've told me last night, these stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely that they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out. Piece together what you can from your visions and arm yourself with information. Take it. Arm yourself with knowledge. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. I think I felt another in the clinic. That's good. If you can find your way inside and uncover another stone, that could give you a leg up on your adversary. You'll just have to be careful to avoid the doctor. Something tells me she won't take too kindly to you sniffing around her clinic. Very bold of you to be cool about me breaking into someone's house. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it's just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. You helped last night. Why don't you come with me? I may have been able to see through that spirit's illusions, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman, I have trouble with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I'd been in those mines with you, some use I'd be, struggling to climb over rocks and ladders, throwing my back out from all the crouching. Thanks. I'll let you know if I find anything. Glad to hear it. I hope all goes well. I wish you luck. Hopefully you won't need it. Who do you currently trust the most? Avery? Maybe Kanika? With a small grunt of effort. Kanika would be a very good candidate, I think. Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. Remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. Talk to Miles. Check in on Kanika. I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just gonna lie down for a while. I'm going to the clinic. I was hoping you would join me. Sorry, Murphy. My mom was right. I'm exhausted. Okay. You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic. I think Kanika being the cat would be the most devastating, in my opinion. If it turns out to be Stella, I won't be surprised at all, if I'm being honest. I think it being Avery, I would just not accept that. I don't think Avery would ever betray anybody. Who's left? Tabitha? Tabitha's not a good candidate because I don't trust her. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic. To be clear, it's not that I don't trust her not to betray me. It's that I don't trust her. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't trust her to be that deep. I don't think she's a good candidate to be the cat. It's secrets enticing you to find a way in, unless she was doing it unwillingly, I suppose. There is also Wayne. Like if I'm considering everybody. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed to your rib cage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsory frequency. Talk to animals. Ask a woodland creature how they'd get into the house. You quickly glance around, eyes trained on the underbrush. A flash of a striped tail grabs your eye immediately. Can I help you, Buster? Hey there. If you were trying to break into that house at the top of the hill, how would you do it? What? Just 'cause I got little hands? Go through people's trash? I'm supposed to know how to break into places? I love him. I love him. Yeah. There's a hill that'll take you right up to that big flat roof thing. Sometimes the humans leave windows open up there, and I go inside. Don't tell them, okay? I like to sleep in their big pile of clothes. It's one of my few joys in life. Thanks, random kind raccoon. Make your way up the hill and onto the terrace. I'm not gonna bother Reese. I'm pretty sure you can make the jump to the second floor, at least with a running start. You make your way up the hill and bend your knees in anticipation, and then you jump. You land and try the door. Oof, that's risky. They're gonna hear that for sure. The upstairs of the clinic feels like a decommissioned museum. Old furniture is covered in plain white sheets. A thick layer of dust coats the floor. This place hasn't seen any use in years. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You can feel that odd sensation. The nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. Everything returns to funny raccoon game. Yeah. That raccoon broke the law. Grab they them ass. You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. Lights click on. You're in the morgue. Is that Reese? Hey, Reese. What are you doing in the morgue? What are you doing in the... Hi. Vampire! I feel like they're leading me to think he's a vampire. I'm not. Please don't stake me. I just sometimes find it easier to sleep down here. Don't ask me why. That's just how it is. His words seem distant to you. Tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pole. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment, the thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on you. Kind of look possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. Why wall? Need to see thing, but why wall? Stand in way. Reese glances back at the wall. Are you trying to get at something behind the wall? It kind of has a bad vibe, doesn't it? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere. Very chill about this. Too chill, almost. I just need to get the dock out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Yes, please. Axe now. Wow, you are super desperate about this wall. Be right back. Reese is now my favorite. Thank you, Reese. I don't know how many people would have been as chill about please distract your mother and get axe so I can break into your wall as that. The chillest guy perhaps ever. His long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited. His usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs. a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom! He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. Looks like we're all out, though. Really? Thought I just picked some up. I've got an errand to run it on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice and some ginger ale, too. That would be really awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. Doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked. The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you. And with it, it's kind of giving away the goose a little bit. Do we know for sure it's a carving? Your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. Cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. Something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records with your family's name on them. You're a fast reader. Shouldn't take you long to skim these. Reese stops in the doorway, returning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? They're your family's death certificates. Oof. Who's the most interesting candidate here? Are we sure? One of these people is actually related to us? I feel like Enoch might be the most interesting. Perlan, maybe. Perlan is maybe the least interesting. Is there a vote? Some like one of these here would be the most like compelling. Kind of want to go with Enoch. Let's go with Enoch. Enoch Scarlet, born September 9th, 1887. Died August 20th, 1957. All of these are interesting. Others may give insight on your grandmother. Age 69. Cause of death, fall from cliff. This one has a coroner's report attached. Organ sustained impact injuries. Lacerations to the neck and body consistent with the fall from great height. Whoa. An actual autopsy report. Looks ancient. If I can do all of these, I will. Edward Eanes. Died February 12th, 2003, aged 89. Cause of death, heart failure. Signed by her granddaughter, Perlan Scarlet. Pretty normal. Almost made it to 90. Died of a normal old person illness. Sleep apnea, discovered by her daughter Tabitha. Chrysanthemum Scarlet. That's her middle name, huh? No autopsy report performed. Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum? Wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. Who said you could read? Nah. I feel like that was forbidden knowledge. Other death certificates. Theodore Scarlet. Born May 24th, 1890. Died 1918. Age 28. Cause of death, crushed in mine collapse. Body not recovered. Signed by his brother Enoch Scarlet. So he had a great uncle who died in the collapse. Joseph Scarlet. Born April 1914. Died June 7th, 1944. Louis Scarlet. Born August 1920. Died June 6th, 1944. Chrysanthemum. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. These must have been Edward Eanes' brothers. Certificate of fetal death, infant boy. Andrew Charles Scarlet. Delivered April 3rd, 1945, stillbirth, mother Edwardine Scarlet. So he had maybe another relative, but they died. Cause of death, complications during birth, no doctor present, home burial. That settles the question of whether you're related to Charlie. Does it? Alexander Scarlet. Missing, presumed dead. Missing, huh? Signed by mother. Alexander Scarlet. So we've got a missing relative. But they died 1957. They were only 10. Age 9. Huh. Is there any chance they could still be alive? Hey, do you think, I feel like the only person who would be around that age might be someone like Sybil. There's no way she's the cat, is it? The owner of the doll. So she went missing. It was the same day Enoch died in a hiking accident. Mary Bell Scarlet. Died 1963, age 17. Cause of death, complications during childbirth. Signed by her mother, Edwardine Scarlet. Wow, that's a lot of kids to outlive. You turn around and leave the office, it's time to move on. Medical supply room is probably a good bet. Fire axe seems like something that might be useful in a room full of chemicals, just down the hall. There it is. Looks like it needs a key, though. We'd better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal the axe after we've had a chance to use it. There must be a key in here somewhere. He stops as if listening to something you can't hear. Shit, she's back already. As if on cue, you hear the front door to the clinic open and close, the creak of its antique hinges echoing down the hallway. Footsteps start down the hall. She's headed this way. Quick, gotta hide. Not gonna be in here. Not supposed to be in here. Portrait in the bedroom was Grandma. Wasn't Alexander the owner of the doll? Yes. Portrait in the bedroom was Grandma. Do you think maybe the doctor is related? You slip past him, scrunching into the small space as best you can. He attempts to slide in after you. Let him in. You make space and he slips in next to you, closing the door just enough that you can both still monitor the entrance to the supply room. Dr. Kelly storms in, plastic bag in tow. She takes something out of the bag and places it on the counter. And then she hurries back out, bag rustling as she makes her way back down the hallway. We better wait a second just in case. Flirt with Reese, yeah. Quietly wait for the danger to pass. Both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. Footsteps return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards, broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. His head swivels suddenly. That was the door to the house. We're in the clear. Let's go. What is that? Two of you spill out of the closet. Reese quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers, scanning them for keys. You can't help but notice that Dr. Kelly left on the long steel table in the middle of the room a sprig of small furry fruits, castor beans. Hey, isn't that the thing that is poisonous? Or am I wrong about that? Sybil's scene was one of trigger warnings for this chapter. Oh. You've seen them elsewhere in town, but for the life of you can't remember where. Why did your mom get castor beans? Yes, found the keys. He holds up a small ring of keys, each with a strip of colored tape on the head. What's this about the beans? Oh, these weird fruit things. Reese unlocks the cabinet and offers you the fire axe. Here's your axe. I don't know. I've never seen them before. Not allowed to be in the supply room. It's probably some kind of medicinal plant, right? She took out a chemistry set too, though, come to think of it. She's not supposed to make medicine. She's not a pharmacist. This room is just storage for orders she gets from a pharmacist over in Brevard. Why would she bring something like that in here? This plant is not medicinal. It makes one of the deadliest poisons known to man. But she's not using it for that, right? Why would she give people poison? I think she's making it for everyone. I'm gonna stand back on this one. Maybe she has some kind of information on it lying around here somewhere. That drawer over there is locked. If I were information on some mysterious alien-looking fruit, I'd probably be in a locked drawer, right? Good thing I already have the keys. This is about me. There's stuff in here from when I was like 12. It's like some kind of diary or medical history or both, I guess. What the hell is this? I forgot to do the content warnings again, didn't I? I'm really bad about that. Holy shit. Non-consensual drug use, possible major character death, unreality, manipulation, loss of control, loss of self, parental death, car accidents, being held against one's will, guns, murder, matricide, depression, amputation, child amputation, auditory gore, stalking, implied sex, mutilation, possibly unwanted advances, decapitation, dismemberment, PTSD, gaslighting, animals in peril, burning alive, mental illness, needles, memory loss, cannibalism, mention of stillbirth. You do not play narrative games featuring non-consensual drug use or cannibalism every day. Well, I mean, I want to be better anyway. There's some illustrations. What the hell is this? Something about another episode. Guessing she's referring to one of my rough nights. Oh, here we go. There's some illustrations. I kind of hope it doesn't turn out that she's been poisoning him. He glances to the strange plant on the countertop. It's those beans you mentioned. She uses them to make my medicine? She uses them to make my medicine. That's poison, right? He jerks his head towards the door. That was the door from the house. We gotta run. You follow Reese's instruction, once again starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge. There's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, that's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. You know I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Do you at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You don't have to do that. I'll grab something from my room later. Sure, whatever you're able to. Whatever you're able to do. Sound of Reese descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Okay. Wall. I should warn you, something spooky might happen when we break down that wall. Good. Feel like I've been missing out lately. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. Wall! Like to do the honors if you don't mind. Got some confused and angry feelings I'd like to express. Reese manages to cut through the wall with very little effort. Unexpected from someone with his frame and condition, but you know his stringy muscles are backed by a mounting fury of what's been done to him. That goes a long way. Are we really for sure that his mom is poisoning him? That just seems so bizarre. I'd like to know. He staggers back from the massive hole in the wall and admires his work. Holy shit. Splintered edge frames a dark passage, seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from a forgotten place into the already frigid morgue. Reef coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy mildew smell like the room is slowly filling with dirt. and with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward, and you climb into the hole. This is wild. I've had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. His voice sounds distant, your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. Hey, you wouldn't think... There's no way, it just occurred to me that Gretchen could be the cat. There's no way. There's no way, right? Whoa, are you okay? You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. There it is. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. What am I going to do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research and I found us an alternative. We won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. I went to talk to the witch. A witch? But that's nonsense. It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. I was worried he'd slipped into a coma or something. He tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here? No, I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Figured you wouldn't want to come too in the morgue. I had a vision. I should probably... No. Like a hallucination? I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things, like my hands would go wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. I think the carvings are trying to warn me about something. My family has dark secrets. An old family like yours, I believe it. Hopefully that's all ancient history, though. So... what now? We might be stuck down here for a little bit. The doc is on the warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine and she's not happy about it. I'm sure you can understand why. There was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I've been thinking about what you said at dinner last night. I don't see any other possibility. It's only been a day since I've stopped taking my pills and I feel great. I went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. I don't get why your mom would poison you though. I don't know. It's all in here. She never outright says that's what she's doing. The recipe she came up with to deal with my flare-ups, whatever she thinks those are, involves that weird plant that was on the counter. Those castor beans, you were right, and ricin poisoning matches up with quite a few of my symptoms. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. But I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. Well... With your evidence, you should be able to go to the cops. No matter what, we should get out of the basement soon. We need to get you out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know. Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. One step at a time. Let's just start by waiting out your mom and getting out of here. You shouldn't call her my mom. As far as I'm concerned, she's forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rear view mirror for the rest of my life. We'll see if we can wait her out. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which she always said was for burglars, but now I assume it was yet another way to keep me boxed in. I know it's outlandish, but the game is outlandish. I feel like Reese has a curse. And I mean, like, you know, I said it when I first saw him. He looks kind of vampire-y. And in fact, the game even makes reference to that. I think that's kind of foreshadowing. I think he's partially vampiric, maybe. Or he's got some kind of curse. And the best way for to kind of, you know, subsume the curse or like kind of keep it under wraps is to kind of poison him or like keep him, all of his senses dulled. So maybe she was doing that, but I don't think that that's the way to do it. I don't know, maybe he's a werewolf. We can try to break them anyway. Distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It would obviously take more than a day for ricin poisoning to be out of his system. Doesn't feel awful, to be honest. You could always draw me. I believe you owe me a showing of Shi no Chi Death Blood. I believe I do. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if this gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people will react to the sort of thing I watch. Definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. It's a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time. What with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, of course the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs had been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies with another person or talk to people ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. I'm glad you'll be able to have a social life. Happy to be part of it. Still hard to imagine, hard to believe after all these years alone that that's going to be my reality. A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And then it sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of excuse me. Dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now. What with his entire reality turning out to be a lie? He's also talking over the movie. I think a movie is too chill for you right now. He's just excited. If I'm talking, sorry if I'm talking a lot. I'm just jittery. It's a little terrifying to think that she's up there right now. There's a knock on the window. Oh. Murphy, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. Why did he call you that thing? Because he's some kind of monster and he wants me dead? Can't you feel that? The murderous intent is practically oozing out of him. I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. I can protect both of us, Murphy. The window shatters. Oh yeah? Okay. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. So we didn't go vampire with this, we went with something completely else. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Leave us alone. In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese has finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off and Wayne along with it. Run for the stairs. I feel like I will be dead soon. I'm gonna do a save. Stay where I am. We aren't safe, but I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here. I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the doc. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his creations. You're not sure who to help. Best to follow Reese and see how things play out. Yeah. You make your way to the door that beckoned you to you yesterday, all intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster preparing to do something unthinkable. This is about to get extremely content. Reese's chill is my vote. Yeah, it's kind of my vote as well. But then again, Wayne has only ever appeared when I'm in danger. So I feel like he actually knows best. I'm just gonna like triple warn y'all. This is probably gonna get super content warning. So maybe don't. You grasp the handle and turn. Duck. Don't shoot. Oh, she shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing past your ear. You turn to see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out from between his ribs, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're gonna have to try harder than that. Oh, how did you... As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between cracks in the wood. Reese's panic pulling in a mob of furious creatures to hold his enemy in place. The artist starts away, but his creations continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway as Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Damn. Run after Dr. Kelly. I want answers. You run forward, braving the onslaught of Reese's creations, dodging them as best as you can, as you try to see where Dr. Kelly went. The door in front of you is smothered in paint. Hey, Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out of some unseen speaker. You, Murphy. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. What the hell is your son, ma'am? I wish I knew. He was fine until he hit puberty. Everyone said raising a teen was going to be a bitch. But they don't know the half of it. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there. Okay. You turn back around and head to the medical storage room. I'm here. Great. Now listen to me. I need you to use the black taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled Carfentanil? Carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. That is such a good face. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Murphy, you don't have to do anything, she says. I'm not going to hurt anybody else. Just her. If you don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement. Or maybe someplace even worse and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now. Better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. He has a point, Doc. I'm not gonna help you. I'm not gonna let you kill someone, Reese. This at least does not commit me one way or another. Can't you two just get along? No, sorry. We're past that point. I want retribution. Even more than that, I want security. As long as she lives, I'm in danger. Reese, I love you. I never wanted it to get to this point. Don't try to make up for it now. It's too late. Oh, there's Wayne. If you wanted a good relationship, you had your chance and you decided to convince me I was dying instead of just letting me exist. Enough. Reese cries out in pain. Ah, what the hell did you do to my shoulder? I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. I like none of these options. I know what you mean. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. Oh, okay. Easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman. You make your way out of this medical storage room and back to the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the mass of paint sealing it shut. Hurry, I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. Sounds like Reese and your friends are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? Maybe. If we both survive, I might decide to share a few more if you don't go tattling to anybody. Let's talk Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead, I have nothing left to hide. How did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out at a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then he had an argument We had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple inches and some facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared. He could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, or maybe a hallucination. Second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise. How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different. I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages, so he rarely ever does. I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. How did you settle on ricin? Gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it. I might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. Oops. Excuse me? It was... And that's all I have to say about that. Excuse me? Was his dad similar? Strange little smile creeps into Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. Very funny connection there. Kept having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were kind of sweet, but they were just dreams. Yo, did you have a baby with a sleep paralysis demon? And that's why he conjures nightmares? That's kind of funny. Then all of a sudden my period stopped. I got morning sickness, and roughly 9 months later, Reese. What is he? At first I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him. You've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. Almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number 1. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. Every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happened any time he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. That doesn't mean he's dangerous. I mean, you are the biggest threat to him. Don't preach to me. Sure, right now I'm the focus of his ire, but who's to say he's just going to find a new target once I'm out of the picture? I know what he's capable of, so it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. Why did you start poisoning him? I kind of know, but I want to go through them. Can we stop calling it poison? It's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I'd been giving him increasingly high doses of Clonopin. His body kept adapting, and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious. I could risk losing my license, especially if anybody ever found out what I was using them for. So, I'm guessing that Sybil is the cat. Dialogue options were a bit different from the usual. And I imagine that the tea she gave me is a problem, because like Sybil is the only person that would have given Dr. Kelly the poison, right? But I mean that she is an ally. But then again, as soon as Dr. Kelly started talking about her, and we can assume that it is her, I blacked out. I'm assuming that is a defense mechanism that she's put in place. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. Relationship between you seems so difficult. Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready, but he made me love being a mom. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever. No matter what, kids grow up and they change, sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going to go around eating people. What is this room? Old x-ray room, lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with a special remote controlled lock. Glad it could finally come in handy. What's the game plan? Both short and long term. Castor beans she got. Odd you couldn't recall where you saw them given they were so out of place. True. What's the game plan? Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. Has that worked before? He's never known the exact nature of his condition before. Maybe it was a mistake to hide it from him. But I thought it meant he could feel like he had more freedom, not knowing that if he just stopped taking his pills, he could become big and pointy enough to kill me. I'm gonna have to revoke some of those freedoms now. He's not going to like that, but I think he'll understand even if it takes time. I don't think he wants to hurt people, he just can't help what he is. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside, the safe room. This might be game time. Get those tranks ready. We have to get this door open before he crosses the hallway. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh shit. So he's like a literal sleep paralysis demon. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. Why wouldn't you load them while you were getting ready? I don't know. To be honest, there's a couple of things here that make me not want to side with Dr. Kelly. I hear where she's coming from, and I don't think that she's dealt with this badly necessarily. But the one thing, there's two things that keep me on the side of we should approach this open-minded. One of them is that she's being helped by Sybil, and I think Sybil is I don't think I trust her anymore. Evidently too polarized. That's true. The thing that's really hard about this is that Wayne doesn't like Reese, but I don't know if I like Wayne. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to make of Wayne. I'm not exactly sure whose side Wayne is on. Wayne has only ever offered to help when things are extremely dangerous. Tabitha doesn't like Wayne, but she also won't explain to me what he is, so I wouldn't say I trust Tabitha on the subject. So I don't know. If I wasn't here, I have every reason to believe that Reese would eventually have dealt with the situation. I don't know. It's an interesting problem. Obviously, I don't want Dr. Kelly to be killed, but I'm not convinced that she will be, even though this is terrifying. Here's my supporting evidence. Okay, consider this for a moment. Everything she's said has led me to believe that she actually did have a kid with a sleep paralysis demon. For every intensive purpose, Reese is a nightmare. But maybe that's all he is? Like a nightmare, you just wake up from it. Has she ever actually been hurt by Reese? Is he just big and scary? And sounds scary and is like very mean looking? Has she ever actually been hurt by him? Nothing she said led me to believe that she's been hurt by him. She doesn't have any scars. She doesn't have any, like, she said that he looked scary, but that's about it, right? This entire chapter makes me think that Daniel's family, Kanika and Avery, are the only trustworthy people here. There was the matricide tag, to be frank. True. And there is also the cannibalism tag. You don't think they would put red herrings in the content tags, do you? Do you? That would be kind of a cheap trick. Well, okay. If we're also going to be fair, just to argue that for a second, him talking about killing his mother does technically serve the matricide tag. It's a very difficult problem to solve. This is the scariest choice in this game so far. Yeah. I mean, okay, if I'm gonna play the devil's advocate for a moment here, say she tranks him and locks him in the room. That, at least at that point, one does get to have a sensible conversation with Reese, and maybe we find out a bit more what's going on there. Like, is he conscious during those moments? Does he know? If he does know, like, maybe he's chill with more poison, I don't know. Or maybe he wants to be a monster. Worst case, the trank will not work and he will think you betrayed him too. True. But come on, I've got plot armor, right? Alright, let's see what happens. Content warning! Take a cautious step back from the doorway. You've convinced yourself he's evil. You'll never give him a chance to just exist. Stop messing around and hand them over now. Reese pushes his now massive form into the safe room, staring down at his mother. Reese, I'm so sorry. Keep watching. Well. Oof. Sorry you had to see that. How are you what happened to Wayne? Wayne? Oh, I pushed him out of a window. Be careful around him. Messed up my shoulder somehow. Still isn't working right. He's evil, really evil. He hates me, I could feel it. It seems like you recognized him. Maybe. There's something familiar about him. Like I've met him before, the way he talked, but I don't know for sure. Sorry, it's been a long day. Welcome to the Dead Moms Club. Guess we all get there eventually, right? Glad it was sooner rather than later. No way was I getting out of here as long as she was around. I mean, look at this room. Prison cell ready for its occupant. Good thing she never got the chance to use it. Carefully pick your way across the floor, avoiding what little is left of Dr. Kelly's remains, and kneel next to Reese. He stares at you with monstrous but all too human eyes, viscera still dripping from his maw. You lean in and wrap your hands around him. He takes a moment to react, seemingly shocked at your touch, but he wraps his arms around you. His shoulders shake in your grip. You realize he's crying. And then he breaks out of your embrace and stumbles out of the safe room, his footsteps getting faster and faster as he runs off into his new life. Shell-shocked, you stumble out of the clinic and into the night air. Very little that can be done at that point. You may as well console them, honestly. I mean, I just think like it's a bad decision. Even knowing for sure that Reese was going to like eat her, I feel like it's I don't know. I don't know. Considering everything we've seen in this game, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm of two minds about it, to be honest. Can't save everyone, but damn. Yeah, that's certainly the most you can't save everyone scene ever. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day, crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream, and now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with your understanding of the world. It's time to go home. But before you can get far, you're interrupted by the sound of panting and the telltale jingling of dog tags. It's the militia. They've poured out over the woods to stand before you on the road. You were looking for Gretchen, weren't you? We found her and her person. They're by the side of the road, a little ways through the woods. They're both fine, but the human wouldn't leave when we tried to make her, and Gretchen insisted on sticking by her side, so we'll have to take you to them. Hopefully you can use your people words to get them to go someplace safe. The woods are crawling with those awful creatures. It's not safe anymore, not even for a human. Your very, very good dogs lead the way. Yes, yes, we are good dogs. Hear that, Scraps? I'm in it for the accolades. I'm not in it for the accolades, Daisy. I just do it to help those who need it. The bestest of dogs. You let the dogs lead you into the wilderness, following on their heels as they take you to Stella's hideaway. Before long, the trees thin. You find yourself on a steep hill by a two-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock. And there, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. And there they are. Keep them safe. Be seeing you, speaker. You sit on the log beside Stella. Murphy, how did you... She looks over her shoulder in confusion. Is that a gang of dogs? I'm so glad my compatriots... I'm so glad my... this is the only Gretchen I've gotten to do all day. I'm so glad my compatriots could be of service. I simply couldn't survive another night without my nice soft bed. What are you doing out here? There was something I had to check out. I've been sitting here since last night, just waiting. But nothing happened. I'll probably just head home in not too long. What is this place, Stella? Why are you here? It's just a bunch of bad memories. There's nothing left to talk about. Come on, let's just get back to town. I know that stretch. That's the time to go home stretch. Thank the Lord. I'll be sleeping in my own bed tonight. Thank you, Murphy, for talking sense into this girl. She doesn't need to hear about this tonight. You won't believe what the save everyone actually trait in this chapter was. Like book smart in chapter 3 or strong build for chapter 1. Wait, there is a way to save everyone, but you need to have a specific trait? Is that kind of how it works? She doesn't need to hear about this tonight. No, she does. Need to shake this girl. Like, there's some really bad stuff going down, and like, she had us all worried, so like, yeah, she needs to hear about it. Oh? You relay the events of the evening as best as you can, sing out loud. Somehow makes it feel less real, like you're sharing the plot of a horror movie, not something that actually happened to you. Oh my god. I'm just gonna go ahead and lock that one away in the void. Stella scoops Gretchen up in her arms, and the three of you walk back down to town in silence. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, what the hell? Gives you a tired wave before retreating into her house. I guess this is how this game is designed, but the key trait to stop Reese was actually hot. Oh. Time for you to get home too. He appears as if out of nowhere, clothes streaked with what at first looks like blood and gore, but you quickly realize is paint. Evidence of his altercation with Reese. Reese, like, straight up told us that Wayne was evil, which is the first time anyone has really given us any kind of straight answer about Wayne. Some people have been saying he's sick. Tabitha won't say basically anything, except he's different now. So I don't know what the deal is with Wayne. I'll lock you. Thanks, I appreciate the company. I like the ongoing meme of me just like treating Wayne like a normal person. Shall we? Wayne walks just ahead of you in near complete silence. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella or Kanika or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. Oh, good. Why? Why am I so special? You simply are. You do not feel the ties that bind us. They are unbreakable. Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure, but now I know. I should be able to make quick work of him next time. But I like him. You shouldn't have gotten attached. I don't suspect he's long for this world. Even if I don't put him out of his misery, someone else will eventually. Seems like Reese gave you a run for your money. Wayne emits a strange kind of coughing sound. You realize he's laughing. He managed to catch me off guard. Those constructs of his were an interesting little trick, but that's all they were. He won't be so lucky next time. Flirt with Wayne. Wayne is on the table, apparently. I thought you might have done something bad to Stella. I didn't have to. She didn't have it in her to stand by your side. Remember that. She won't be there if you need her. You don't need to keep coming up with new topics of conversation to fill the silence. You're tired. It's been a long night. You should rest. I'd like to, though. I want to. Wayne remains silent for the rest of the journey back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you, and you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. He disappears into the underbrush. Go home. Alright. I suppose I could have finished off yesterday, but I really had to go very quickly. The estate feels empty, wind howling through its abandoned halls. The very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Go to bed. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming. A sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese out in the woods somewhere, blood-stained and free, and then you think of nothing.